Hi everyone, hope that you're doing well. Welcome to our time reading War and Peace.
Hello，大家好，我是丹叶，他是 Quacky Frankie。你们有
Yeah,
什么
right.
意见就给他提啊，他有的时候太凶了。好，我们
Okay.
言归正传，开始读吧。
All right. So let me close some of this stuff and we're going to start reading next. So we left off last time with the invitation that Anna sent to everyone. And
Yes.
remember that the invitation was kind of written in French. And she even signed her name, Annette Scher.
With a French name.
Sort of, right? And we're just going to read. We don't know who's going to reply next. So we're going to read from Heavens. Heavens, what a virulent attack, replied the prince.
Heavens, what a virulent attack, replied the prince.
Not in the least disconcerted by this reception.
Not in the least disconcerted by this reception.
He had just entered, wearing an embroidered court uniform.
He had just entered, wearing an
embroidered
court uniform,
knee breeches,
knee breeches,
and shoes, and had stars on his breast and a serene expression on his flat face. He spoke in that refined French in which our grandfathers not only spoke but thought. And with the gentle, patronizing intonation natural to a man of importance.
Patronizing intonation natural to a man of importance who had grown
old in society and at court.
Okay, we just stop
here. No. Let's finish. He went to Anna Pavlovna, kissed her hand, presenting to her his bald...
He went to Anna Pavlovna, kissed her hand, presenting to her his bald,
scented and shining head, and complacently seated himself on the sofa.
Okay, so after I read the whole paragraph, I cannot understand anything.
Right, because you're reading, so maybe you shouldn't be reading anymore. Because there's nothing you gain by reading. You should try to just figure out before reading, what is it trying to say? What's the main thing it's trying to say, right? So because when you start reading, then you're not thinking about what it's actually saying.
Maybe.
So we can read later. You can read it later. I don't think it helps to you read at the same time. So I would say, you just listen to it and then try to grab whatever you can first. The most important is to try to understand as much as you can, not to read it. Read it is not important. To say the words is not that important.
Okay. So the prince replied with the words, "Heavens, what a..."
So we don't want we don't want to break everything down word by word, right? We just want to capture what he's trying to say, right? What happened here so far? Can you just tell me what happened?
No, I cannot tell you anything because I don't understand. I need to sentence by sentence.
No, you shouldn't do that. You should really try to go bigger picture.
I cannot go bigger picture.
Yes, you can. So if you want to break down this whole thing, right? How would you break down this whole thing?
I don't know.
Well, there's this part here. Okay, I would say that's one part that you need to think about. Something happened here, and then a lot of things happened here, right? A lot of things happened here, and then finally we see some things happen here at the end, that last part and this part over here. So there's actually 3 breaks to this whole paragraph. So I want you to think about that. So I gave you already, there's 3 breaks. I want you to tell me what happens on each of those 3 breaks, okay? So tell me a little bit about those 3 breaks. You try to figure out a little bit. So, don't worry about words because you keep you find a word you don't know and then you go, oh, I don't know, I can't understand this. It's not important. Find the main important points,
So for the first part, it's from here to here, right?
Okay, yeah. And the second part?
So the first part is the prince say, just response
Respond to what?
response to Anna.
What response? To what thing?
Because it's attack, ma.
To what? Respond to what?
Response to Anna.
Yeah, no, but what did Anna do?
Anna said a lot of things about the attack, the anti-crisis, right?
Okay, great. So it's about that really the first thing that we read on this book.
Yeah.
So this is the first time we hear the prince say anything.
Yeah, the first time Prince say what a violent attack heaven is.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. We just want to see the main thing first. So he's responding to what Anna said, okay?
Yeah.
And then next what happens?
And
We're not worried about that already. We'll look at that later.
and then just it's what he looks like, what he wearing,
Yes, and then
and what his tone he spoke in
French.
And
I want to know when this stops. The second part, where does it stop?
And his high bank.
High rank, you mean?
High rank.
Yeah, but this is not. I want to know where it stops. This section. What's the next section talking about?
So from here to here, describe him.
Yes, and then the last section.
Last is what he do. He
Okay,
went up to Anna and kissed her Anna's hand.
Yeah. Okay, great. So now this is how you should read the paragraph. Okay, you should actually try to break up into sections. I don't know exactly what each section says, but roughly, I know what's happening. So tell me again what's happening then in your own words.
First, the prince responds to the Anna.
Yes, and then
the
narrator.
And the narrator describe what the prince looks like.
Yes, and then
where.
Just describe this. Just say describe the prince, right?
Describe the prince.
And then
what the action.
Yeah, what action did Prince do?
The prince
right?
do.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's a big gap between what he said at the beginning and what he did at the end.
Yeah.
The narrator just added a lot of stuff in between, right?
Yes.
So if you actually cut everything in between, we can actually just read from he said something and he did something.
Yes.
Okay. So we can talk about what he said, and you said is a response, right, or whatever. He replied back to Anna.
Yeah.
So recall what Anna did at the beginning. She said a bunch of different things. And how do you think, even if you don't understand everything that he said, how do you think he responded?
I think he just showed he's so agree with her idea, opinion.
No, I don't think he agrees anything with her opinion.
So you asked me what's my
tell me why. Yes,
guessing,
tell
right?
me. Yeah, you tell me why
so
you
that
said
is
that.
my guessing.
So what made you guess that way by looking at this? What made you guess?
Just the sense.
How? What word made you feel that way?
I think this is a bad word.
Yeah, it's a very bad word.
The attack. Yeah. So the Anna think the attack is terrible.
What attack is this?
The attack is the Burnham take.
No, that's not the attack. So the attack is not that attack. The attack is the attack from Anna to the prince. It feels like the Anna is attacking him.
Huh?
Yeah, that's what it feels like when Anna talking to him say, what did she remember? Do you don't remember what Anna told him?
Oh, frighten you.
Yes, and why would frighten? What things did she say would frighten him?
She just say something about the war.
No, she said many more than that. She said a lot more than the war.
I don't know.
So you don't remember then?
I don't remember.
Remember he said, if you continue to do what and what, I warn you, if you continue to do this and this, what's going to happen?
Not be my friend.
Yeah, that's attack. That is the attack. She's saying, if you don't do this, if you continue to do this, you're no longer my friend, and I will have nothing to do with you. Remember?
Okay.
So that's attack. And how did he feel about the attack?
Virulent.
Yes. What does virulent sound like to you?
Maybe very serious.
What does a virulent sound like to you? What word sounds like virulent to you?
Virus.
Yes. Same root. Virulent, virus, same thing, kind of root. Virus. Yeah.
Okay.
So some kind of bad attack, right?
Bad attack, yeah.
So so he says, heavens, what a virulent attack. So now you have to think about how he says it, okay? You think he says, "Wow, what a virulent attack"? Do you think he says that like, or he says,
No.
"Heavens, what a virulent attack"?
Just a very
How do you think he says it? Yeah.
very informal tone.
Okay, he actually says it in almost a joking tone.
Joking tone, okay.
Almost joking.
Because they're best friends, I think.
Yes. And why would I say that with confidence that he's saying a joking tone? Alfred is. Yeah. Why would he say that in that virulent? So right. So it's kind of like saying a joking way, and the way that I look at it is because of this word. He's not in the least disconcerted by this reception. Okay,
What does
so
this mean?
yeah, there. Okay, so which word you don't like or you don't know?
Disconcerted.
Okay, fine. Suppose you don't know disconcerted. Okay, so we're gonna leave that open here. You don't know what that means. How about by this reception? Do you know what that means?
On this reception.
Yes. How about not in the least?
In the list.
Not in the least. How about not? How about not in? How about not in?
Not in the list is last. I don't know.
Not in the smallest amount. Least. Kind of smallest amount. Not even a little bit.
Least means
Yeah.
smallest.
For example, aren't you a little bit upset? And I can say not in the least. Okay, so that means I'm not even a little bit upset. So suppose you ask me, aren't you, somebody did something to you, says, aren't you a little bit upset? Something
Aren't you a little bit upset?
right? Because
Okay.
something bad happened to you, whatever, to me, and you say, hey, aren't you a little bit upset? Right?
Yes.
Something bad happened, and it says not in the least. That means not even a little bit, not even a little bit,
Oh.
not in the least, right?
Not
so
in the least.
so here is saying, he replied the prince, not in the least disconcerted. So he says he's not even a little bit disconcerted by this reception. Okay, so the question is, let's guess what you think this means. He's not even a little bit what by this. Okay, how about give me some suggestions, like what disconcerted could mean. He's not even a little bit what?
Worry.
Okay, fine. He's not even a little bit worried about. Why would he be worried about this?
Attack.
Okay, he's not worried about this attack. Okay, I can't take anything else.
Disconcert.
Forget about the word. I'm just trying to make you guess to how he could be feeling. How about surprised? Can he be surprised? He's not even a little bit surprised by this reception. What would that mean if you say that?
Why they say by this reception?
Because Anna,
should
he's not surprised by it.
Yeah, should by Anna's words, right?
Well, the reception is Anna's words. That is a reception from Anna. Reception means receiving somebody. Okay, somebody opened the door and you greet them, whatever. That's a reception too, right?
Or surprise maybe.
So suppose surprise. Now,
Yeah,
would that
or
make sense?
frightened.
Okay, he's not even a little bit frightened. Okay, she could be
Yeah.
frightened. Yeah, that'd be a very good one. Yeah, not frightened. They all mean a different thing, right? But they all kind of like can work here, right? Do you agree?
Yeah.
But this one just means, how about worried also can be mean. So here it says disconcerted means he's not even like being moved by it. Like he's not being upset by it. It doesn't make him emotional or whatever. He's not. The idea is he's not being moved by it. It doesn't make him like upset or whatever. And it's actually not even close to upset. He's not even being. It doesn't affect him. Kind of like this. Yeah, it doesn't affect him at all.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not like troubled by it. Let's put it that way.
Oh, maybe Anne always do these things to him. He know Anne.
He knows Anna.
Yeah, he knows Anna. He
Yeah.
knows her.
Yeah.
Her style.
And that's why I can say he's saying something. Heavens, what a virulent attack!
Oh,
Right? He
just
can say it.
joking.
Yeah. Right. Says he can.
Okay.
Yeah. So now we can just look at what happened. So now we have all this paragraph about how he looks like and how he talks about something. We can skip it for now, and then or maybe if you want to tell me something you want to know from this. Is there anything you want to know?
I want to know what the breeches.
It's kind of
knee
your pants.
breeches. Pant?
Yeah. So yeah, it only goes to your knees. It doesn't go all the way down. It only go your knees. So
What?
it's pants that just goes here.
What the pants mean?
Pants.
What the pants mean?
Shorts.
Shorts, I know.
Pants
It's
is like
long.
longer, yeah. So the pants only go to here.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
What this mean?
Serene.
Serene expression.
Well, serene. Here it means like so what is it talking about on this serene?
Flat face.
Okay, so it's something about his flat face.
Yes.
So he has a face, and what kind of expression can you have on a face?
Expression, maybe. So that I don't know. Maybe very calm down.
Yeah. Okay. Good. That's it. So serene means a calm expression. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I don't know. So not only but soft.
Right.
What
Okay.
this
So
mean?
okay.
Not
Fine.
only
All
spoke,
right.
but soft.
Right. So he's talking about this refined French, right?
Spoke in a French tone.
Refined. Refined means
Refined.
like not like common people speaking. Very high level French.
Very
Like
high
people,
level
yeah,
French.
yeah, people who speak, like just in Mandarin. You don't have people who speak very formal
Oh.
and people who like just street talk kind of thing, right?
No.
So refined is like that.
Okay.
And which our grandfathers not only spoke. So he's saying that who is this our? Who is this our here?
I don't know.
Well,
Normal people?
no, our has to do with the fact that the author, right?
The author? Oh.
So he's talking to everybody who's reading it. Like
Oh.
our grandfather's probably talking to he thinks that maybe the Russian people reading it. It's our grandfathers.
Oh.
Not only spoke. So they not only spoke in this refined French, but also thought. So this is a very interesting idea. So you have to think about that. So if I say you not only speak in like High Mandarin, let's call it High Mandarin, right? But
High Mandarin? What High Mandarin mean?
okay, so think about maybe you read some books or old language, old Mandarin books.
Oh.
Think about when they talk in those books.
Mm-mm.
What would you call that kind of talk?
It's just like the very old people talking.
Okay, what kind of it? What would you say that is?
I think it's I don't know.
Just think of an old book, the Chinese old book, classic book, and when people
hard to
talk.
understand.
Okay, but it's not hard to them, but it may be a little bit kind of different way of thinking, right?
Oh, it's
So-
not just spoke but soft.
Yeah, they also
Oh.
think that way too, right?
Okay.
And with a gentle, patronizing intonation.
Natural.
Patronizing, maybe that's a good word to know. Patronizing.
Mm.
Intonation, you know what that means, intonation?
Intonation means intonation. When play violin, intonation means the
Yeah, so this is not a playing instrument. So this
Mm-mm.
intonation means what?
his tone, his
way that he says stuff.
the way he say.
So
Patronizing.
yeah. So patronizing is kind of imagine how a parent talk to the child.
Yes.
Okay, so what different ways can a parent talk to a child?
It's criticize or very
Okay.
strict.
Okay, anything else?
Maybe sometimes very very gently.
Anything else?
Just show the parent has a big authority to
Yeah, authority is one. Anything else?
have the right to do something.
Yeah, that's one thing that parents do. Anything
Mm.
else? The parents,
Anything. Towards the children.
children, yeah,
Show they love the children.
yeah, but
Show they
yeah, for sure. Okay, but I'm trying to pick out something else that you think, not just your own children, maybe to other children too. Think about not just your own children. You talk to other children, like your the children in your class, for example. How you talk to them.
Oh, I use very simple words.
Yes,
Try
that
to
is
let
correct.
them understand.
Yes, the fact that you use simple words, right? The fact that you try to talk down to them, you try to talk down to their level, that's patronizing because you believe that maybe this kid is actually very smart. He knows every word that you say. But because you believe that this child is the children, so you use this easy words for them to understand. That is patronizing, because you think that you're better, kind of, you know more than this little kid. So you think that, okay, maybe I need to talk down a little bit because this person may not be able to understand me. So that's
I understand, because he in the beginning said he is in a high rank, so maybe he think he is in the high rank, and you are not on the high rank.
Or you can think
so
that
we are not on the same level.
Look, you can also think that he's kind of old.
Like
maybe he's a grandfather kind of thing. You can also think that way, right? Because he already thinks like our grandfathers, right? He already like thinks in this French like a grandfather. So maybe he's like a grandfather already. And maybe grandfathers talk to people like that. Oh, you don't know this, kind of like, I know more because I am older than you and I'm more experienced than you, kind of thing, right? You can think of that way.
So this just describe the way
he talks.
He talk.
Yeah, the intonation. Right?
Intonation.
All right, so we're just going to finish with this. He went to Anna and kissed her hand, presenting his bald, scented, shining head, and complacently seated himself on the sofa. So what does it mean? He presented to her his bald, scented, shining head.
Just describe he has a bald head.
No. Of course, you can say anyway, but he says presenting to her. What does that mean?
Presenting to her his bald and
scented.
Show Anna you.
How?
Show I respect Anna.
No. That's not what's happening. It's presenting. It says presenting. He presented her his head.
What do you mean?
Present. I present something to you. I present this book to you. So I hand this book to you.
Just let Anna see his bald.
How?
Knees, bending knees.
Yeah, he bent it. So he bent his head to kiss her hand. When he bent his head to kiss her hand, he showed his head to Anna.
Yeah.
So that's what that means.
A shining head.
Yeah.
And complacently seated himself on a sofa.
Okay, so it's very interesting. So
what is complacently? Quickly?
Okay, so again, this is a way that you sit. It's adverb, right?
Yes,
it's describing about seated himself.
Yeah.
So what do you think it can mean, this adverb? Is it a way that you sit down?
Yeah, because first he do the action is present his hand, his ball, and kiss his hand, right? And second word is his sit.
Yeah.
Between these two actions, I think maybe quickly or, but I don't know what this means.
Again, it's very calmly sit down.
Calmly sit
or
down.
Very peacefully, or very happily, calmly, sit down.
So what these actions show us about him?
No, nothing. It's just, but you have to think about how the author uses this. He's very interesting because he could say that he has a bald, scented head before, right? Because he was already describing the prince already before. But he doesn't say it then. He says it now.
Yes.
Right. So he's kind of interesting because he's saying he's describing the prince by this action. So he's kind of using this. Oh, look. He kissed her hand, and he could have stopped there. He kissed his hand and went to sit down. Yeah. But instead he says he kissed her hand and presented his bald, shining head to her. Right? He doesn't have to say that. The author doesn't have to say that. He's saying that to use this opportunity to give an introduction to what he looks like. He's kind of bald, and he has a scented means has smelly, good smell head. Right?
Oh, good smell.
Right, scented means like you probably put some perfume or something.
Oh, scented means a good smell?
Yeah, normally you put some perfume or something. Shining just means clean, maybe. No. Bald means no hair.
Bald means no hair.
Yeah.
So shining means
actually it reflects
clean?
Light. No, the light you can see the light like a mirror, kind of like.
Just very obviously. Okay. So just to give you a shock how the prince looks like.
Right. But you can appreciate how the author uses this opportunity to say those things.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Thanks everyone.
Good. Thank you.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.